unconstructed, unsuccessful, unpopular, destroyed, stolen, lost, forgotten, concealed, and unallowed inventions, Part 3. This is another suppressed invention, another concealed, unallowed invention. The digital compressing system, digital compressing program. This invention can transform megabytes into kilobytes, compress megabytes into kilobytes, or transform gigabytes into kilobytes, compress gigabytes into kilobytes. With such a program, you can have literally unlimited computer space. Again, it was stolen and suppressed by the forces of evil and darkness. And that's why people don't have it. Otherwise, people would have it. Think about it. This is another great famous invention of Buckminster Fuller, the Dymaxion house. The Dymaxion house is a light metal circular house built for the American family. After World War II, veterans came, and this was supposed, and they needed homes, new houses, and this was supposed to be the home of the future, the house of the future. But it never became popular, and instead, boring houses, boring square and rectangular houses were built. This is the only model now left, stuck in a museum. A future that never was. This is one of my favorites. This is the Dynasphere. A one-wheeled vehicle. This was supposed to be the future of travel. Time magazine, Life magazine, or Time magazine even published an article stating that this was the future of travel. But that future never came. The Dynasphere is no more. This is another experimental aircraft from the 1930s, from 1938 I believe. This aircraft, its engines were in the belly, below the head of the plane, which was very unusual. I don't think this design is ever seen. This aircraft was designed to travel 800 miles per hour. 800 miles per hour in the 1930s. But World War II came and this plane was never built. The EV1. This was the first mass-produced electric car. This is the best electric car ever built and one of the finest vehicles. It was built in the 90s. This was supposed to be the future. Electric cars before electric cars. This car was ahead of its time. Over 1,000 of these were built. The design was great, very great, and functional. But again, the forces of darkness intervened, and these cars were almost all destroyed. One of these is now left in a museum again. It's very strange. They built electrical cars in the 90s and then had them almost all destroyed, and they're building electric cars now, in the 21st century. This is the flying elephant tank, the elephant tank. An experimental tank designed during World War I. This was supposed to be a new battle tank, a new battle cruiser. armored from every direction. It has 6 guns, 1 in the back, 1 in the front, 2 from the left and 2 from the right. A dozen of these were ordered, but they were never built. It's unknown if this tank would have changed the war, but if my knowledge is correct, if this tank was used, it could have changed the war. It was never used in combat. Here is another view of it from the side. It's only a plastic toy. This is all that's left of it. Things like this, introduced so early, could alter history. But people almost always find excuses. And that's why stuff like this is almost never used. Excuses are the death of people and the death of inventions and ideas. This is another failed invention. The flying car. The flying car is one of the ultimate symbols of the future. Dozens of these were built, but they all failed, and a lot of people were killed. This one had wings attached to a car. It failed. This is Gerald Bull's dream invention, the supergun or the super cannon. A cannon over 2,000 tons that could blast with one shot a capsule or an object straight into the stratosphere or above. His dream never came true. In my opinion, Gerald Bull was the last great scientist inventor in this world. This is the sun gun. The German space mirror, a weapon designed in World War II, but it may be a hoax, I'm not sure. The idea was to build a giant reflective mirror in outer space and focus the sun's energy and heat and vaporize anything on Earth. It could vaporize any target on Earth. It can destroy an entire city or boil an entire ocean. But this invention is impossible, not because it cannot be built, but simply because outer space doesn't exist. This is another unpopular invention, the gyrojet gun, the gyrojet pistol. A rocket pistol that can fire rocket-like bullets at extreme speed. It was a rocket pistol gun. It never became popular. This is a destroyed invention. The CSS Virginia, a armored ironclad battleship built by the Confederacy. I actually like the Confederacy more than the Union. This CSS Virginia fought against the US Monitor, or HMS Monitor, which was built by the Union. Both ships fought to a standstill, but were later destroyed. The Confederacy destroyed this ironclad so it would not fall into enemy hands while the monitor sank during a thunderstorm. This ship had a lot of potential. Ironclads were brilliant inventions. They shouldn't have changed or modified the design. This was a real winner. End of part 3.